Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you're gonna love it here, and if you're returning, what's up? For this video, I will be doing the viral Cassie Baby Kaylee inspired hairstyle with the braids on one side and the quick weave on the other. I'm not gonna lie, this style wasn't the easiest. It was a little bit of a challenge, but I got it done. This style turned out very cute, so if you would like to see the steps that I did to achieve this look, just keep on watching. I'm gonna start off by parting out my hair. Pretend like you're creating a side part, like for a quick weave or a sew-in, then take that part all the way back. As you can see, my part is not super duper straight. It kind of got a curve to it, but I did that on purpose. Once the part is made, you want to make sure that you pull out your baby hairs or edges, whatever you want to leave out before you start braiding. Obviously, you could do your braid pattern however you want to do it, but I parted out another section at the bottom half of my head. And I did this because I knew I wasn't going to be able to create like a cool braid design. So I felt like creating this part and doing braids in different directions would make it look like I really did something for real. So I'm going to start off by braiding the top section. Here I am using my rat tail comb to create the part. This was my first time using this Belletique braiding gel, and if you know, you know I always use the pink edge booster. I kind of like mix both of them up because the edge booster has a better hold and the Belletique is more like oily and greasy. I don't know, child. I'm not a braider. I just used what I thought would work. With that being said, use whatever gel you prefer. So I applied that near my scalp before I began braiding. Using the gel helps the braid look cleaner. I was scared to add too much because I tried to start off by braiding the back section first, but I applied too much gel, so I had to stop. And I'm like, okay, well, let me just do the top half first. As you can see, I am braiding that section to the scalp. I had to learn how to do single braids before learning how to braid to the scalp. I'm gonna explain this the best way I can, but when braiding, I grab the middle piece, then cross it over to the right. Then I grab the piece that's now in the middle and cross that over to the left. Grab the middle piece, cross it over to the right, middle piece to the left, middle piece to the right. Like, that's how I learned. And when braiding to the scalp, as you're grabbing the middle piece, you're also grabbing her. I'm sure they have better detailed tutorials here on YouTube on how to braid. Also, I'm gonna be honest, I did go back to redo this braid because the parting wasn't right. Parting was one of the main things I struggled with while doing this hairstyle. Now that the first braid is done, I'm gonna part out another section, add that edge control and that gel. Here I am cleaning up that part, struggling. Then boom, I'm gonna begin to braid to the scalp. I parted and did my braids from one side of my head to the middle of my head. So the direction of these braids were horizontal. Like I mentioned before, I tried to do the bottom half first, but it was a hot mess. So we're gonna get back to that. I am now on the fourth braid. This process is very repetitive. I'm gonna be doing the same thing basically until I get to the top of the part, but clearly nothing has changed. You're going to part the hair off, then add the edge control or the gel, whatever you're using, then begin to braid to the scalp. The directions are easy, but you just got to make sure you know how to part and you know how to braid. I am now on the last and final piece for the top half. After adding that edge control and that gel, I'm gonna start braiding. I was a little nervous doing this hairstyle because it was the middle of the night and I had an event to go to the next day. So if this didn't turn out right, I had no extra time to change my hairstyle. Now that is complete, let's make our way back to the back. So here I am redoing that first braid, braiding it to the scalp after applying the edge control and the gel. I'm not sure how larger braids would look, but I recommend doing either small or medium braids to the scalp. Or you know what, maybe even some twists. Like I've seen people do 2-strand twists to the scalp. Moving on to the next braid, here's a better view on how I parted the hair. I did the part in kind of like an L shape. So I basically braided the hair going down and over towards the part. Like I mentioned before, you could do the braid pattern however you want to do it. You can braid all the hair going horizontal. I've seen someone even do like simple straight backs. You know, anything, the design or the way you choose to braid the hair up is up to you. I have now made it to the last and final piece, and I'm just gonna braid that up. Now that everything is braided, I'm going to go in and part out my leave out for the quick weave. I'm literally only leaving her out from the middle of my head up to the front. There is no need for me to part out any leave out in the back because I will be doing the hidden track method. Now that I have parted out my leave out, I'm going to braid the quick weave side like normal. As you can see, I did about 5 big braids going straight back. I'm literally going to follow the exact same steps for a normal quick weave. So I'm going to go in with a black wig cap. Please ignore my nails, y'all. I had to take them off so that I could braid my hair. So here I am putting the cap on. And of course, I'm going to go in with my Got To Be spray for the mow down. So I am extremely careful, making sure that I only spray the jumbo braids going straight back. Obviously, I'm not going to spray the braids on the left side of my head, but I also have to make sure that I don't accidentally spray down the leave out braid. This was very hard for me, only spraying down half of my head in the back because I cannot see. But of course, I was able to get it done. I then went in with my blow dryer to dry the spray down. I blow dry the cap on medium heat, not too hot, not too cold. You want to make sure that first layer of spray is dried down before going in with the second layer. I do recommend doing multiple layers of got-to-be spray. You really want to make sure that you're using enough so that the cap stays in place. This is what holds your quick weave together and keeps the tracks down. So if the cap lifts or moves out of place, so will the tracks. You will know when you have added enough spray and the cap is ready when it is stiff and crunchy. I'm going to go in with this hair glue and immediately start laying down these tracks. I'm going to add that to the track. Since I am laying the tracks down on the side of my head, they will be laid down in a C shape. So the edge piece will be laid down going up. And then I'm going to lay the rest down. In order for the tracks to be hidden in the back, you want to lay the edge piece of the track going up. Like the end of the track must be curved in that C shape, which will allow the hair to fall in a way to where you don't see the tracks. If you can't already tell by now, I am reusing old bundles, which means they are pre-cut. I feel like it's easier using fresh bundles, but that is not always the case. So if you are using a new bundle, what you will do is measure out the track to figure out how long of a piece you'll need. You will then cut the track, add glue to the track, and then lay the track down in that C shape. This is the view of how the track has been laid in the front. You want to bring it around to the top of your head. I'm going to continue the process of adding glue to the track and laying the track down in a C shape. Now, depending on how you want the hair to fall in the front will determine how you lay the track down in the front. Now, if you want the hair to fall directly in your face, kind of like a dramatic type of bang moment, you will lay the track straight across in the front like so. Versus if you want the hair to kind of be off to the side and not so much in your face, you should lay the track down vertical like so, going from the front to the back. After laying down a few tracks, I go in with my blow dryer to dry the glue down. Now that I've made it to the top of my head, I'm going to start laying down the tracks in smaller pieces starting in the back instead of doing the C shape because I don't want too much of the hair falling in the front of my face. I'm going to lay this piece down to the side And I'm going to continue to lay the rest of the pieces to the side. And since these sections are smaller, I will have to measure out the track and cut the track before adding the glue and laying it down. I have now laid down my last and final piece. So I'm going to go in with my blow dryer one last time to make sure that glue is dried down. We need them tracks to stay in place before cutting this cap. It is now time to cut the cap. Obviously, you will only cut the side of the cap where the braids are. Yes, I am using these big kitchen scissors because these are the sharpest scissors that I have. Make sure that you are taking your time and you are very careful when doing this. And if you have watched any of my previous quick weave tutorials, I usually cut the cap before laying the tracks down. But with me only doing half of my head, I was a little scared. I wanted to make sure that everything was intact and that the cap wouldn't lift. So I just waited till I glued all the tracks down before cutting the cap. Moving on, I'm going to take my leave out braid down. And I noticed that my track was a little white and very much noticeable, so I went in with a black marker to kind of fix that. I will be using the Chi heat protector before applying any heat. I will be working in sections, starting off with my mini flat iron, just to make sure that I get everything as straight as possible. Next, I'm going to follow up with the regular flat iron. Leave out is done. Now I'm going to move on to my favorite part, the baby hairs. I'm going to go back in with the heat protecting spray before using my mini flat iron. I'm going to straighten the hair first, then curl the hair going up. Oh, and yes, by the way, I am aware that you can see my track a little bit. Unfortunately, I did not leave out enough leave out, but it is what it is. Whoop-de-doo. Luckily, you can't really tell. Once the hair is curled, I'm going to go in with my edge brush to figure out the placement and shape the baby hairs. I was thinking about doing this little swoop design, but I changed my mind. We just going to do a normal swoop. Then I went in with the edge booster edge control, the same edge control that I was using for the braids. Added a little bit of that to the baby hairs, then laid them mugs down. The baby hairs are now laid. Lastly, I'm going to go in with this Sleek and Shine Anti-Frizz Serum. I'm only going to use a little bit on my leave out and the ends of this hair. So my original plan was to cut this into a bob, but I decided to leave it like this. What do y'all think? Do y'all think I made a good decision? Should I have cut it into a bob? Is it cuter like this? Let me know. Before I show you all the final look one last time, I would like to thank you all for watching. This hair is from Raw Extensions. It will be in my description box down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I'm going to see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.